In this video, we are going to talk about Maundy Thursday. Now, Maundy is a Latin word which means command. Jesus gave us a command, and we're called to follow it. That command is to love each other as he loves us. And so in Maundy Thursday, we explore some of the ways we do that, some of the way that Jesus gave us examples of loving one another. And so that takes shape in two really important ways during Maundy Thursday: the foot washing and the celebrating of the Eucharist, Holy Communion, which we do here on the altar. We really pay attention to the nature of the Last Supper and how Jesus gave us this command to keep doing these things. The foot washing is an intense experience. As someone who's received their feet being washed, as someone who washes other people's feet, I've really never experienced anything else like it, not just within the church, but anywhere else in life. Yeah. I think the word that always comes to my mind is vulnerability. You make yourself really vulnerable when you expose something like your feet, and you're vulnerable when you're washing it. What's been your experience washing feet and having your feet washed?
I feel the same way you do. And every year, it's like it's brand new. And the experience for me is to have the way we do it and the way we wash each other's feet, and everyone come up and just take their time and feel the water, you see them change. And I know there's some who probably don't like to do that. It's okay. Anyone who wants to come up, I feel that the expression of that is sort of cleansing. It puts us all on the same level with how it's handled, and we try to take away the angst of it. And I wish that there were more who would come and experience that with us. And it's sort of like preparation for the next service the following day to me.
Yeah, and about that, having more people come forward, in my life, from the church I grew up into the churches I've served, there's always those who partake and those who don't. And I've had interesting conversations with people about their fear or hesitation to do it. And what I've noticed is those people who've talked with me or expressed some sort of hesitation and eventually take that leap of faith, make that plunge, they never do it just once. In preceding years, they always come forward because they experience that leveling and that humility that is really, really powerful. And so it's never a once and done thing. They will continue to come forward in following years for that foot washing.
And I think it's good for us to see what Jesus really did. And Peter, they didn't want to have done.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing probably to have him get on his knees in front of them and to do that, take that form of a servant. I know you and I feel that's an honor.
Yes.
For us to do that.
Yeah, it's something that we enter into with real respect. Yeah. And I think when people, like I said, take that leap of faith and partake in it, they feel that reverence. Yeah. So, and the Eucharist, the communion, the Last Supper also becomes a big focus of that night. And we emphasize that in some special ways. So not only do we celebrate Eucharist, after everyone has received the communion, we do what's called reserving the sacrament. We believe that Jesus is present. There's a real presence of Jesus in the bread and the wine. And so we symbolically want to emulate Jesus' time in the garden after the Last Supper. So we take the reserved sacrament over to our side altar, and we have a lovely kind of reenactment of a nature scene, and we place the reserved sacrament there. And then we do a very solemn, very intentional stripping of the altar. This is the space where Jesus' self has been made manifest to us, and kind of keeping with the nature of the Passion, the events of his life, the capturing of him and his imprisonment and his being stripped. We kind of reenact that here in this physical space where we encounter Jesus. And that becomes another really prayerful, respectful thing. And I think it's very powerful, people, to see what is a very familiar space that usually has decorations on it be stripped bare.
Right.
And be left in its kind of bare bones. And so these ways help us to heighten and emphasize and explore more deeply the Last Supper and communion, which we do all year long. But especially on that night, it takes on really, really special shape.
It really does.
So if you've never experienced Maundy Thursday, more than welcome and invited to come and see for yourself. If you're hesitant at all about partaking in the foot washing, know that there's no shame and there's no fear here. You're more than welcome to come and experience the humble nature that Jesus calls us all to.